Welcome to this explainer. Today we're tackling a plant that is equally famous for its absolute beauty and, let's be honest, its notorious fragility. We're going to completely demystify the Burro's tail succulent. Whether you're carefully bringing home your very first tiny plant or you're trying to perfect the massive cascade of an older one, consider this your ultimate beginner to expert guide.
Picture this. You just bought your plant, you're driving it home, you gently bump the pot, and suddenly you're panicking because half of those beautiful plump leaves just tumbled right onto the floor. Listen, you're not alone. It's the #1 source of frustration for new owners. It honestly makes you feel like you're failing before you've even started.
But hey, take a deep breath. Seriously, don't panic. This extreme fragility is actually a natural survival mechanism. Out in the wild, rocky hillsides of southern Mexico, the plant literally relies on those leaves dropping easily. Why? Because every single fallen leaf will root itself and create a brand new plant. It's just trying to spread itself around. So instead of seeing a fallen leaf as a failure, you've got to look at it as free propagation material.
To get you from beginner to expert, here's our masterclass agenda. 1. Creating the perfect environment. 2. Watering and soil essentials. 3. Pruning and infinite propagation. 4. Troubleshooting pests and problems. And 5. Pro tips for ultimate success. Let's get into it. And the reward for getting this right? It's literally massive. When you nail the care and leave this plant completely undisturbed, a mature Burro's tail can trail 3 to 4 feet from a hanging basket. It's absolutely breathtaking. And since they can live for well over a decade, it really becomes this stunning, living curtain in your home.
Just a quick heads up before we really jump in, you might actually see 2 different types of this plant out there. There's the standard Burro's tail, which has longer, pointed, teardrop-shaped leaves, and then there's the Sedum burrito, sometimes called the baby Burro's tail, which has shorter, rounder, little jelly bean leaves. But don't worry, whether you have the teardrops or the jelly beans, this whole care guide applies perfectly to both.
All right, part 1, creating the perfect environment. Think about where this guy comes from. To mimic that native cliffside habitat, you want to give your Burro's tail bright, indirect light. An east-facing window is pretty much the holy grail here, offering that gentle morning sun without the harsh, scorching afternoon rays. Room temperatures between 65 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit are spot on. And since it's a desert native, it loves low to average humidity. That means absolutely no misting, 0. Oh, and huge bonus, it's completely non-toxic to your cats and dogs.
Now, here is a crucial detail that almost everyone misses when they hang trailing plants. The crown of the plant, the top of the pot where all the stems start, needs just as much light as the trailing strands themselves. If you hang it too high up where the top is stuck in shadow while only the bottom gets sun, the top is going to stretch out, thin, and eventually go completely bald. You really have to make sure that light is hitting the actual soil line.
Moving right along to part 2, watering and soil essentials.
If there is one thing you take away from this explainer, let it be this. Overwatering is public enemy #1. It's the absolute quickest way to kill this drought-tolerant plant. Because it stores massive amounts of water in those chubby little leaves, it can go a really long time without a drink. You've got to use the soak and dry method. Let the soil dry out 100%, all the way to the bottom. Once it's bone dry, give it a massive soak until water pours out the drainage holes. In summer, that's usually every 10 to 14 days, and way less in winter. A pro trick? Just look at the leaves. When they look slightly soft or deflated, your plant is telling you it's thirsty. So to keep those roots from sitting in a soggy swamp, you need a seriously fast draining soil mix. Bagged potting soil straight from the store holds way too much moisture. Instead, mix it up yourself, 2 parts standard potting soil, 1 part perlite or pumice for those essential air pockets, and 1 part coarse sand. You're going for a gritty, airy blend that drains fast and completely prevents deadly root rot. Okay, section 3, pruning and infinite propagation. Remember those incredibly frustrating dropped leaves we talked about? Let's turn them into an army of new plants. It's a super simple 4-step process. First, collect the fallen leaves, making sure they broke off cleanly at the base. Second, and do not skip this, leave them in a warm, shady spot for 2 to 3 days so the broken end forms a dry callus. That stops them from rotting. Third, just lay them flat on top of dry, succulent soil. Don't bury them. And fourth, just wait. In 2 to 4 weeks, little pink roots will pop out, followed by a brand new mini plant. It's like magic. Now, if you're a bit impatient, and honestly, who isn't, stem cuttings are your best friend for a bigger plant faster. Snip off a 3 to 5 inch stem, Gently strip the leaves off the bottom couple of inches. Save those leaves for leaf propagation, obviously. Let the bare stem callus over for a few days, just like the leaves, and then plant that bare end directly into your gritty soil mix.
All right, part 4, troubleshooting pests and problems.
Sometimes things just go wrong. If your plant is looking a little sad, you can use a visual symptom checker to figure out your watering issues. Root rot is an absolute emergency. The stems near the soil turn soft, dark, and mushy, and the leaves go translucent yellow and drop easily. You have to cut away the rot immediately. But if the leaves are just deflated and wrinkled and the soil is totally bone dry, good news, it's just underwatered. A good long soak will fix it right up.
Now those thick waxy leaves actually do a pretty great job deterring most bugs naturally. But you still need to be vigilant. Check the tight little spaces where the leaves meet the stems for mealybugs. They look like tiny white cotton clusters. Keep an eye out for aphids on the soft new growth and scale insects, which look like weird little brown bumps. Spot any? Gently dab them with a cotton swab dipped in rubbing alcohol or use a mild insecticidal soap. Just, be incredibly gentle so you don't accidentally knock half the leaves off while you're cleaning it.
And finally, part 5, pro tips for ultimate success.
Have you ever noticed that powdery, kind of pale blue-white dust on your plant's leaves? That is called farina. It's basically a natural, waxy sunscreen that protects the plant from burning and locks moisture inside the leaf. The golden rule here is do not touch it. If you rub the farina off with your fingers, it literally never grows back on that leaf. It leaves the spot vulnerable and just slightly less vibrant.
When it comes to repotting, honestly, just don't do it. At least, not often. Because this plant is so famously fragile, repotting is wildly stressful for the plant and definitely for you. Try to leave it alone as long as humanly possible. Sizing up every 3 to 4 years is plenty, and when you finally do, grab a shallow terracotta pot. Terracotta is porous, so it helps the soil dry evenly, and the shallow shape stops wet, soggy soil from pooling underneath the plant's shallow root system.
And here is my absolute favorite golden rule. It's a total game changer for preventing traumatic leaf drop. You need to change how you hydrate. Exclusively bottom water your burro's tail. Top watering means pouring water over those fragile strands and bumping the pot, which almost guarantees you're going to lose leaves. Instead, set that terracotta pot in a sink or a basin with a few inches of water. Let it soak up moisture from the bottom for 15 to 20 minutes. Perfectly watered roots, and you never even touch the delicate hanging strands.
So, you've got the complete manual now. You know how to dial in the bright light, mix up the grittiest soil, and master that soak and dry watering routine. Now, take a look around your space. Where is the absolute perfect spot to hang this stunning living curtain so that it literally never has to be moved again? Find that spot, set it up, step back, and get ready to enjoy an incredible cascade for years to come.